Mela, wara nofsinhar tajb il-kulħadd, grazzi tal-li ġejtu Simon Grek jiena. Mela, għal ma jafnix, li kulħadd jaf minn barra. Inti, bażikament biex intikom daqsxejn ta' spjegazzjoni tal-karriera mużikali tiegħi. Bdejt bħala pjanist, bdejt nitgħallem Johann Strauss School of Music hawnhekk il-Belt Valletta s-sadhom mxew il-Ħamrun, bdejt 4 snin. Ta' 11 sena dħalt fuq electronic music. Primarjament kont bdejt fuq stilijiet ta' hip-hop, u għan MBA tar qoddim mbagħad mexxejt tal-iktar on the dance music side of electronic music. Primarjament kont bdejt fuq progressive trance li tar qoddim mbagħad mxejt għal stili bħal techno li mill-ġurnata nimxi fuq melodic house. Apparti melodic house, nafas fuq stili oħor li huwa stil daqsxejn antik ma tantx għadu nisimgħu bih illum il-ġurnata però għadu jeżisti, li huwa l-istil ta' IDM, Intelligent Dance Music. Għal min ma jaf x'inhu IDM jew irid ikollu idea ta' x'inhu IDM insema' bħal minn artisti bħal pereżempju Otek, Aphex Twin, Telefon Tel Aviv, Apparat, Lorne, these are all Intelligent Dance Music artists. It's not dance music, it's more of a listening music, but the outlining element of it is malfunction. So basically what we're talking about here, we are making music which is built completely on errors, glitch, malfunctions, and chaotic elements. Li tittuħsib meta inti qed tagħmel dan l-istil, meta għandek stil huwa kompletament minna limitu ta' xejn, huwa kif ħataqbad dawk l-affarijiet chaotiċi, l-affarijiet li suppost ma tismagħhomx isiru f'diska u torganizzahom biex jagħmlu sens. Illum ħanurikom żewġ techniques li nuża jiena personalment biex nagħmel dan it-tip ta' stil. Fuq kif nagħmlu li nħobb li nsejħilhom glitch percussions jew nkella malfunction. So, hemm ġiex modi kif nistgħu nagħmluhom dawn. Hemm mod kif l-ewwel wieħed huwa li nużaw is-session view hawnhekk bħala programming language u aħna ngħidu l-Ableton kif għandu jimxi minn sample għall-oħra biex joħloq dik il-malfunction. U aħna l-importanti li ntuħ ċertu commands biex huwa jiffollow l-Ableton biex aħna itina r-riżultat li rridu aħna. Però xorta sbilthom malfunction errors and a complete random thing, which we can then extract and use in our music and edit from there. Il-mod li huwa li nużaw element ta' drumlet fejn aħna nisplittjaw loops jew samples differenti u nużaw ir-randomizer ta' drumlet biex noħolqu daw it-tip ta' glitches, which mbagħad intern nistgħu nextractjaw u neditjaw over the timeline meta qudiem. Ħanibdew minn scenario 1, ħanużaw is-session view biex nipprogrammaw l-Ableton biex aħna nħadbu biex joħloqilna il-malfunction, ovvjament skont kif nagħmlu jiena għall-istil tiegħi. So, is-session view ħanaħdem fuq audio track waħda biss, ma niftaħilkom daqsxejn hawnhekk ħallu tkunu tista' taraw. Issa għal minnu familjali ma' Ableton jaf li l-Ableton għandu żewġ views. Għandek il-view it-timeline hawnhekk fejn aħna noħolqu the final result of the song il-ħsejjes kollha under each other, one after each other, kif mill-bidu sal-aħħar tad-diska. Is-session view is an idea generation tool. So, aħna nużaw is-session view apparti li hija tista' tintużaw ukoll u hija tintuża aħna bħala live performance tool li il-matrix tagħha nista' nużaw to create ideas and to actually program Ableton to do some pretty crazy stuff. Mela, l-ewwel ħaġa li nħobb nagħmel jiena ovvjament li nibni daqsxejn tal-libberija. Issa, we're working il-mod ta' kif inħobb naħdem jiena nħobb li il-malfunctions tiegħi u l-glitches tiegħi they are never repeated. Jekk smajt error, jekk smajt glitch, jekk smajt ċertu percussion fid-diska, you will never hear it the same again. If it's repetitive, if there's a loop, it's not really a glitch. It has to always change. Issa, jekk jiena ħanibbaża dak il-glitch fuq literalment żewġ loops jew żewġ samples, there's so much that I can achieve at the end result, So, ovvjament tibni daqsxejn tal-liblerija sewwa. U fil-fatt biex naħloq il-glitch ħanuża literalment daw il-ħsejjes kollha li qed taraw hawnhekk on the finder there. Dawn huma ħsejjes li jiena xtrajt, ġbart over time, hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes of loops that I have that I have got over the years, and they have been organized somewhat sample pack, sample pack, sample pack, choosing these different loops. Issa biex intikom idea ta' x'infittex jiena, meta jiena infittex ovvjament a glitch loop, inħobb xi ħaġa noisy, xi ħaġa differenti, weird as hell, biex intikom daqsxejn ta' idea, this kind of sound. Noise, the malfunction, the errors, the glitches. We get the idea. So, scenario number 1. Mela, l-ewwel ħaġa li nagħmlu, once li inti organizzajt is-sounds kollha għandek, il-każ tiegħi għandu jkun hawn xi 600 u ġew. We're literally going to take them and we're going to drag them into our session view. One go over here. Oops. There we go. So all our sounds are on the session view at the moment. Yes, at Nitkellmu we have 670 loops there. So naħseb nista' għandi daqsxejn ta' fiduċja li I'm going to have a pretty random and very kind of varying glitch going on here. Mela, ħal introduċikom għal dan is-sena nħobb ngħidu jiena the follow action technique. Bażikament inti jekk inti ddoq jew tippleja loop fuq session view ħajdoqlok lilha biss. Ableton over here on the bottom għandu a speċi ta' programming kind of nsejħula technique li inti tista' tgħidu Ableton li once inti pplejjajt a loop you can tell it what to do next and at what given time signature. So, what I like to do is this. I'm going to highlight all of my loops over here, okay? Ħankun ċert li għandi kollox iwarpjat, ovvjament jekk għandi kollox iselektjat, anything that I manipulate here is going to be across the board. So I'm going to warp everything so everything is synced to a tempo and there is a loop. Il-follow action fuq Ableton hand ħassibuha hawnhekk. Right over here. So basically aħna Ableton ħanejdulu meta aħna niplejjaw any given or a looping question, what's going to happen after? Li nixtieq jiena li jagħmel lil Ableton huwa li once jiena nafas play, irridu at random jażel loop oħra wara time signature li jiena ħobb nuża bħala 3 beats. 3 beats għala għax inħoss jekk jiena naħdem fuq even numbers mhux ħajkolli dik il-daqsxejn ta' flux għaddejja. So working in odd numbers helps me create that bit of a kind of a more chaotic vibe. So that's one thing. So dik is-setjar ta' fuq 3. Il-follow action tissetjaħħa minn hawnhekk. So basically you can tell Ableton that all of these sounds when they're played, you can either tell it to stop at the end, to play again, play the previous one, jiġifieri ta' fuqha, ta' taħta, l-ewwel, l-aħħar, any or other. Fil-każ tagħna ħanażel any. So x'ħajjiġri? Bażikament jiena qed ngħid Ableton li once li jiena daqqejt das-sound, awtomatikament huwa at random kif jixtieq huwa ħajqbis li fuq sound ieħor u wara 3 beats ħajqbis fuq ieħor, ħajqbis fuq ieħor, ħajqbis fuq ieħor, ħajqbis fuq ieħor, ħajqbis fuq ieħor. Ħaġa oħra li ma nħobbx ninsa, and this you can either use or not, but I like to use, hija il-legato mode li hija din ta' hawnhekk. Il-legato mode xogħla bażikament ejja nassumu pereżempju qed jindaqda l-loop. U dan loop qabel ma idoq is-sound li jmiss wasal sa hawnhekk. Jekk għandi il-legato mode mitfija, meta jdoq is-sound li jmiss ħajjerġa' jibda ovvjament minn hawnhekk però dak il-loop, ħajjerġa' jibda mill-bidu. Jekk ikolli il-legato mode mixawla, jekk il-loop li kont qed indoq waslet sa hawnhekk u ħanduq il-lub ta' wara ħadd kompli minn hawnhekk tagħha. So this really helps. Jekk jiena pereżempju għandi kick, snare, u għamiltu on odd numbers, ġifieri huma hawnhekk ħajaqlibli. U ħajżomm the musical flow of how a drum should be. Ġifieri mhux fejn mbagħad fejn suppost nista' ma kif ħada ġi snare, eċetera. Ħajkompli l-flow għaddej. So let's listen to how that is going to sound. Ovvjament qed nixal il-legato mode. And that's basically it. Let's give it a listen. And the launch, yeah? And if I zoom out of Ableton, you can actually, jek naqduha, taraw fil-fatt qed jażel loops differenti at any point if jixtieq, which is very nice. Issa, at this point probably tistaqsuni, how the hell is this music? Fair enough. It's not until you give it something organized for it biex torbota, biex niftehmu. So jekk sempliċement nażel naqgħu sewwa. Okay. Go with that, literalment. I'm just going to create a very simple drum. Alright, u just biex norbot daqsxejn iktar, biex ikolkom daqsxejn iktar idea. Nuża daqsxejn iktar rimxot hemmhekk. So. Okay, so we can all relate to that and dance to it or kind of nistgħu norbtu magħha bħala xi ħaġa mużikali nistgħu aħna nifollowjaw. So, if we accompany it with the glitch now, this is our result. Mela, issa, obviously, everything is still on the session view at the moment. Il-problema hija, how do we record all that is happening onto the timeline so we can edit it later? Għax fis-session view, just yet fis-session view, it's not on the timeline. It's not in the final result. Sempliċement, nafsu. Hekk, ħannek il-loop. Jekk sempliċement nafas record, hawnhekk, we can see them up here. All the different loops being put there. Issa mbagħad tgħidli pereżempju madonna hekk ġifieri għandi diska ta' 6 minuti, irid nirrekordja 6 minuti u qed nistenna. Tista' tilħaq tagħmel belat in the process. Però there is a quick and easy way to do it. Jekk irrid pereżempju nagħmel ukoll idea ta' pereżempju 10 minuti, literalment il-BPM ħanagħmlu 999. Ħanimute jada. Ħanafas record. Joe, 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Just enough bridge variations for me to create the entire song. Obviously, with some glitch. Okay, yeah. All right. So, going back to it now, we can take different ideas Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. All right. We can take different titles. Per esempio, let's start with the beat again. Okay. So anything you don't like, per esempio, di ma ġbitnix. Take it off. Replace it with this. Reverse it up. Transpose it. Remove it completely. Allora inti tista' tagħmel Ableton tak through that algorithm with a set commands ħafna dejat mix-xejn. And then you just have to work with those ideas in order to create what you want. L-inħobb nagħmel jiena il-drum, per eżempju, li għandi hawnhekk pjuttost nħobb insejħlu regolari, so it's boom, 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 all right, fair enough. Però jiena nħobb u kif hija norma fl-IDM, kif nħobb nisimgħu jiena, li il-beat jiffollowja dak il-glitch biex jkompli jkollok dak il-idea ta' xi ħaġa dejjem qed tinbidel. So let's start with just the kick. Per esempio, unzoom dawn l-istess. And we get this. And you can create glitch like that. All right, proset. Mela, that is scenario number 1. Okay, let's move on to scenario number 2. Using the drum rack as your glitch module. Okay, so you can do this in many different ways. And I will show you both anyway. Mela. Il-mod kif taħdem hija li we're going to be slicing or selecting different percussions, glitch percussions or organic percussions, and taking these loops, and we're going to manipulate them over a drum rack. So it's going to be MIDI based, not audio. So li nagħmel jiena s-soltu jew per eżempju, I have collected these over time. Fuq l-istess funzjoni ta' malfunction, errors, robotic sounds, etc., etc. What I do, generally, and you can do this with loops as well. I'm going to do it with one-shots just so we can get an idea. Issa, with this technique, you are limited to 127 pieces of audio. Għax palam drum rack, meta għandi channel ta' drum rack, jħallina indaħlu 127 sounds only. So we're limited to that. Jekk taqbess il-limit li Ableton ħajjejt li just remove some sounds and you can go ahead like that. So, li għamilt, bad dawk il-sejjes, tfajtom on the timeline over here. Ħdej xurxin. Okay? Issa, what I want to be doing is I want to be taking those sounds and we're going to be consolidating them into one audio file. And we're going to consolidate them into one audio file in order for us to be able to split that audio track into a drum rack in MIDI form and then put a randomizer on that. So, in order to do that, right click on the whole thing, we'll have to consolidate. So what's going to happen is it's going to export that channel and bring it back into Ableton in real time. U dak kollu ġi file wieħed. Issa, nista' right click fuq dak, slice to new MIDI track, and we're going to be choosing transients. What are transients? Transients is any given hit in a waveform. So any harsh peak that symbolizes that a new sound or a new percussion is there, a hit is there, Ableton will mark it. So bażikament meta ngħidu jistajsa by transient huwa li da ħajaqtaw għalih minn hawn sa. Da ħajaqtaw għalih, da ħajaqtaw għalih, da ħajaqtaw għalih. So pretty much 98% ħajslice għal id-drums kollha għalihom. So by transient, you can leave the slicing preset as built-in, and we're going to hit OK. All right. So all my slices now, I can remove that completely. All my slices now are here, okay? So literalment kull sound li jena għattali qegħdin hawnhekk. And I can play them on the keyboard. Post. Yeah, there we go. Bomba. So, li ħanamel huwa, first we're going to be creating a rhythm for our drum rack, per eżempju. Or else, yeah, let's create a rhythm. So, I'm going to be extracting a rhythm from an existing loop that that I have over here. ħanerġa' nafas fuq daw, per eżempju. I want something with a lot of transients, ħafna groove fija, kuna naqa' ċaqliqa sewwa fija. Ħanżommu aside minn ix-xirt, imma ħanżommu hemm. Ooh, that's more like it. Bomba. So, ħanaqbad dak jiena. Issa, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be extracting the groove of this loop, incorporate it into the drum rack that I have here, and then I can randomize the sounds to be played according to that groove, basically. So the way that you do that is, we're going to slice the MIDI track by transient, and we're going to find that here, okay? So literalment you can see it here. There's the groove. So the twila, the asira, 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 asira. I'm going to quantize it, so nkun daqsxejn iktar to the point hemmhekk. Literalment, all we have to do is drop that MIDI clip into our drum rack, which contains our sounds. Okay? It's not being random at the moment. Fis-sens, jekk nerġa' ndoqqa dik, it's going to be exactly the same. So it is kind of random, it's not randomly generated. We're going to make that happen. So, l-inħobb nagħmel jiena you know what the hell. So once li jiena qed nuża dak il-groove hemm il-loopja, u mbagħad ħammur fuq il-MIDI effects this baby, random. Okay? If I just drop that there, jiena ħanejdlu li the chances of suppost qed idoq sound u jażel ieħor, iċ-ċans ħanamlu 100%. So jekk inti suppost ħaddoq da sound, żgur 100% doq xi ħaġa oħra, doq li trid. Il-choices li ħajkollhom minn dak is-sound bħalissa qegħdin 12, go ahead and 24, let's go a bit harsh. U l-scale mhux ħanqażżiżha ħafna. You can see the sounds that are played over here. So if I look at that, if I scale a bit too much, I'm only off the range of the silences. Sounds good. L-aħħar ħaġa mhux l-inqas għandek il-signature hawnhekk. Għandek jew add, jew subtractive, jew bipolar. Additive means li jekk suppost ħajdoq pereżempju da sound li għandi hawnhekk, additive ħajażel sound minn hawnhekk il fuq. Subtractive ħajażel minn dak is-sound l-isfel. Bipolar ħajażel kemm minn fuq u kemm minn isfel. Jien ħanażillu kemm minn fuq u kemm minn isfel. Okay. Issa probablement mistoqsija hija it's so random, jiġifieri kull darba nafas play. Xi ħaġa differenti kompletament. How do you secure that on the timeline? There's two ways to do it. One of them is literally recording the channel u inti tispiċċa bil-waveform, but it's not exactly editable as you want it to be. You can in Ableton extract the resulting MIDI clip after the randomness has happened and then drop it back. Irġet nipprovaw ngħidu hawnhekk. Jekk jiena hawnhekk fin-natura tagħha il-loop qed iddoq li hekk il fuq. quantize that. All right, qed iddoq li minn hawnhekk il fuq. Okay. U ovvjament dat jażel għaw fuq, pereżempju, fuq dat jażel għaw wissu, dat jażel għaw fuq, pereżempju. So we can take that result and record it, but not as a waveform, as MIDI data, which we can then drop back in. So, li ħanagħmel huwa ħaniftaħ MIDI track ġdida. Command Alt T, jew Command Shift T, Command Shift T. U MIDI track. Hawnhekk ħanejdlu bħala input, ħanejdlu isma' tini the result input mit-channel number 2 li huwa VMH1, okay? Post effects, iġifieri tini ir-riżultat wara li sar dan, mhux qabel. U jekk jiena let's spread it across the timeline like this. Nafas record hawnhekk, nieħu l-input, u nħalli dak idoq. Jien ħanara ir-riżultat li qed joħroġ li. So jiena li qed itini bħala random generator qed naħsdu jiena, qed nissejvjah bħal servi. Li nagħmel mbagħad sempliċement taqba' dak il-riżult minn il-clip, itfaham ġew, neħħi il-random generator, there you go. And I've saved that. Issa għandi l-capabilities li ngħid isma' da sound ma ġobnix. Da hawnhekk. Ħanbidlu. Ma dak. Da ma ġobnix. Ħanbidlu ma dak. Jon kera rrid nagħmel stutter, pereżempju. And there you go. If it's still not making sense musically to you, I completely understand, però let's drop on. I'll do it manually. Okay. I'm gonna go for a 4x4 beat. It should be easy enough. Just biex ikolkom idea li it does actually work. That's my compliment for you, baby. So coupling this technique with the technique we did with the follow action, you can pretty much make Ableton your slave and make it generate ideas for you. Obviously, the story does not end here. We have used this idea generation tool, i.e. Ableton giving us ideas on the spot based on drums. You can do it with melodies, you can do it with chords. The thing is, li titgħallem meta inti qed taħdem fuq a random generator tool, li random generator literalment ħajjagħmel whatever, anything. Xogħolok huwa li mhux tgħidlu x'għandu jagħmel, imma x'm'għandux jagħmel until you boil it down to the result that you want. And that's basically it. Grazzi ta' ħinkom. Thank you.